Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming again if you are returning to the channel, and welcome if you're brand new. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out, and feel free to comment. I do reply to all of my comments in the best way I can anyway. So the reason everybody's came back to have a look, or you're here for the first time, is you may have seen I had a Ruroc Atlas 4.0 motorbike helmet, which unfortunately I had a lot of problems with. Got a lot of issues, endless problems with it, to be honest. And it ended up from my last video that I had organised to return the helmet, and I just organised to send it back. So since then, I got my returns label, I shipped it off, I sent it off. I had to wait a little bit, I had to reach out to them a couple times after I'd sent the helmet and I'd got the delivery notification to say that they'd received it. But all in all, I got my refund, my full amount, £517 it totaled to in the end, which was the Ruroc helmet, the Shockwave kit, the Pinlock visor, and also a neck scarf that I ordered, which wasn't very good either. So I just said, as a whole, I want to just give it all back. I don't want anything, and just get a full refund, which they did. They did give me a full refund. Again, if you watch the previous video, it did take a long time, and there was a lot of pushing from me and a lot of threatening to go and speak to a solicitor and so on, just to try and get to that point. But I got there in the end, and in fairness to them, the customer service I received across the board as far as response time and stuff went was really good. It's just a shame that you have to have such an argument with an organisation when you've bought a top of the line product which was faulty and defective to the point I couldn't use it, and they wouldn't refund me at first. So yeah, either way, watch my last video. I'll pop it up here if you want to watch it again in the top right. However, the main reason why a lot of you came, I mentioned in the last video, I already had found a new helmet that I was relatively confident I wanted. I've had the helmet now for just over a month, I think it's been. Might be a bit less than that. And I've absolutely love it. I fell in love with the helmet. I have rode so much with it because the weather in the UK here has been absolutely brilliant. I've had some really long rides in screaming heat as well. One of the days it was about 32 degrees Celsius, that is, the entire day. And yeah, I just loved every second of it because the helmet was just exactly what I wanted from a helmet, which is what I'll go into. But without further ado, so this is my new Scorpion FX Covert. Now, just to start with, I'm going to go over the looks of the helmet. So, as you can probably tell, it is very similar to the Ruroc. I love the look of Ruroc. I'll never ever dispute the fact that the Ruroc helmet looks amazing. So I looked for something similar. I looked at quite a few different helmets, and this is the one I landed on. Not because of price, not because of brand or anything like that, just because this, for me, was the best of all the ones I tried on. The build quality of this helmet, for the price of this helmet, is absolutely phenomenal. So this helmet cost me £179.99. Yes, that's correct. Pounds, £179.99, not even £200. It is a fiberglass build helmet, so it is very, very, very light. I believe it's almost the exact same weight, by a gram or two, as the Ruroc helmet. It weighs almost nothing. It feels brilliant when you wear it. Very happy. It came with two visors, so you get a clear visor and a smoked visor. It is not very smoked. I mean, you can probably see my hand through it there, and that is due to the new regulation. Apparently, I was talking to the guy in the store. The new regulation of helmets, I think it's 2206. They are no longer allowed to go as dark as they used to be able to go. So this is the new regulated. This is a road safe visor. This isn't a track visor like the Ruroc one that you get. That is allegedly track use only. This is not. This is full road use. So it is a lot lighter. It does the job though. Like I say, I've been riding in the sun quite a bit lately, and it's been brilliant. So you get that with it. You get a nice bag for the helmet to go in. You also get a visor bag, which you do not get with the Ruroc, which really annoyed me because as anyone knows that's watched my videos before, I swap my visor relatively frequently. Which leads me on perfectly to one of the biggest issues I had with the Ruroc, and what ended up being the killer of that helmet for me, which was the visor. So in my previous videos, I mentioned that the Ruroc had a little pin here. You undo the pin, it's like a twist pin, pop it out, and then the helmet comes off, and there was a little little nipple that the visor clipped over, and then you put the pin back on. My visor on my Ruroc helmet, the pin broke, and I could no longer get the visor on the helmet, so the helmet was absolutely useless to me. So I did a lot of work looking at visors before I went out and purchased anything. I tested a lot. I went and tried quite a few helmets on, played about with the visors, and this was by far the best one so far. I love the way this visor works. It's actually quite funny. I got this from J&S Accessories in Birmingham, and the guys actually made me panic a little bit when I wanted to swap the visor over, because the day I bought it, I picked it up on my motorbike. Massive shout out to J&S Accessories. I'm not sponsored by them whatsoever in this video. I paid 100% real money for this helmet. I didn't even tell them that I do YouTube videos or anything like that. I just wanted to give them a shout out purely because they really helped me out. I went on my bike. Obviously, I couldn't take my old helmet back. I was going to get them to just ship the helmet to my house. Instead, they very kindly offered, and they do offer this to anybody. You can swap your new helmet out, put your new helmet on today, and they'll send your old helmet back to your house completely free of charge. It was absolutely brilliant. It turned up 2 days later. Fantastic service. The guys in the store were brilliant, really, really knowledgeable. But the one thing that they didn't know, and it made me panic when I was in the store, I swapped the visor out. It was a sunny day, wanting the tinted visor on, and he pulled out a screwdriver and he undone this screw. I watched a lot of videos and I panicked a little bit. I'm glad I was right and they were wrong, and I hope that maybe one of them will watch this video. However, as you can see, there is a little Phillips screw there on both sides. So they undid it. This little plastic bit pops off, and then you can take the visor off, no problem. However, there is also, I don't know if you should be able to see that, I hope, a little arrow on the helmet and a little arrow on the visor. So if you bring that up to just align with it, and then you hold the visor and just pull, it pops straight off. And this is the correct way. I've checked, trust me. And again, on this side, you just pull, and there you go. You've got your visor off. And to pop it back on, again, you line it up, and you just give it a little push, clips on. Other side, you pop it there and give it a quick push, and it's on. And that's it. Visor is on. It's secure as anything as well. I was a little bit unsure about doing it at first, but it is very, very, very secure. I was very, very happy with it. As far as the visor goes, so it's got a brilliant range of positions it can be in. It has these tiny little clicks in between. Don't know if you can hear that. Oh, that's my mic's here, isn't it? So you get these tiny little clips. You've got one solid clip at the top to keep the visor open if you're riding and you want it open. It snaps back down, and then you've got loads of little clicks. It stops about here. So you've got two options for ventilation. You can have it open a little bit more than you would usually, or you can snap it down. And as you can see there, you should be able to see under that, there is still just enough room to get a nice bit of wind up the visor, but not in your face, not in your eyes, to just clear that visor if you don't have the Pinlock installed. And then you pop it down and it snaps into place. It is Pinlock ready, this visor is. Some of the Scorpion visors have this fancy new visor that doesn't need a Pinlock. This helmet does not have that, and it does require a Pinlock. So that being said, from fit wise, so fit compared to the Ruroc, obviously I measured the Ruroc. I was 56.5, which was the absolute perfect sizing for the SM helmet of the Ruroc. That helmet was way too tight. It was extremely uncomfortable. I think I made a comment in my last video, or one of the videos, that like I gave an example of chewing gum was really like it. As soon as you moved your jaw, talking, if you're trying to talk on the comm system, it hurt because it was so compressed. Now, if you go on track days and you are racing, I imagine that is probably the best type of helmet you could have. You physically can't do anything. You cannot move. It's hard to get the helmet off. But if you was to be going at speeds of track speeds and go pushing your bike as far as it can go, God forbid you was to come off, you're going to want something on your head that's not coming off whatsoever, 100%. I'm not an idiot on my bike. I enjoy it for commuting to work. I enjoy a nice steady cruise. I'm not too crazy on it. However, good fitment is important. So I went to 4 different stores, all different manufacturers, owners of the stores, and I got fitted in every single one of them. Apart from the J&S, actually, I never ended up getting fitted there. But all the other 4 stores that I went to before I purchased this helmet, they all fitted me. I'm a medium in this helmet, and it is an absolute perfect fit. It's not too big, it's not too small, it doesn't hurt my head at all. The only thing I will say is I bought, along with the helmet, I purchased the Cardo PackTalk. Now, I'll go into that a little bit in a minute, but the only comment I've got on fit is the speakers inside the helmet. They have recessed speaker positions on this helmet, and it does slightly touch the side of my ears. Now, again, I've said this before, I haven't exactly got ears that stick out too much, I don't think. But if you have got slightly bigger ears than me, I think it might be a slight issue, maybe. But I've not really had the problem. I've just noticed it. I've readjusted the helmet for a second, and then it feels fine. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. As far as sound goes, as in the wind noise of the helmet. Now, I've got a windscreen on my bike, so I don't get a lot of road noise. I do get a very, very slight baffle around the screen, which I didn't have a problem with the Ruroc helmet on at all. The helmet on, well, the Ruroc was phenomenal when it came to sound, but again, that helmet was too tight, so there wasn't much wind that could get up that helmet, regardless. This I haven't noticed. I couldn't tell you a difference between this and the Ruroc as far as like decibel of the wind noise. I've not had a problem. It hasn't annoyed me whatsoever. I would give it the same score as the Ruroc. Again, no problems with it at all. The Cardo system. So the Cardo PackTalk system. So this I don't like. I've never liked on the side of the helmet comm systems. I just don't like the look of them. In this one, it doesn't look bad. I still don't like it. If I could not have it there, I would. But I do listen to music a lot. I do. Now I've started riding a lot more. I am doing two-way conversations with a friend who also does have He's got a Cardo Slim, I think it is, and it is very useful. The biggest thing with the Ruroc that I hated was the speakers were okay, but as soon as you're doing about 70 miles an hour, even though I've got a windscreen and the wind noise in the helmet wasn't very bad, you just couldn't really hear it very well, or you had it as loud as you possibly could, and then I was constantly turning it down when I started to slow down because it was just too loud when there was almost no noise, or if you sat waiting at the lights. This, on the other hand, is phenomenal. The JBL speakers in this helmet are just insane, and that comes with this PackTalk kit. I haven't added any accessories to the PackTalk kit. It's just what comes with this PackTalk Edge. I believe that was £289.97. Again, I got that from J&S Accessories. You can get them online. I initially was going to order it online, but I just ended up thinking, well, it's easy. I'm in the store. I'm just going to buy it right now. They had everything I wanted. And the best part about this against the Ruroc, apart from sound quality, has to be the microphone quality. Now, with the Ruroc helmet, I made a couple phone calls to my partner when on the way home, or I'd just let her know I'm on my way home from work, and I'd make that call, and unless I was sat completely still, she just couldn't hear me. The road noise and the wind noise was just horrendous. There was no sort of noise cancelling or anything like that built into the Ruroc. And I know the Ruroc Shockwave is only £150 compared to the almost £300 Cardo. I get that. However, for me, it was useless. It was literally, you're paying for a pair of headphones is all you're doing with that Ruroc kit. With this Cardo, I can have a full-blown conversation doing 70 miles an hour in a windy day, and you literally cannot hear my bike, which is very loud. You cannot hear the road noise. You might get the odd little whistle every now and again if I've got the inside vents open because the mic is mounted at the very, very front. But again, it's an amazing spot to have the mic mounted because it's directly in front of your mouth. So it's even better to avoid all that wind noise and just focusing on your mouth, as the Cardo does have noise cancelling software sort of built into it. Along with that, the snap-on, snap-off is really cool. So you just push down on the tab and pull it forward, and then just let go, and it snaps on with magnets. Charging wise, I have only had to charge it once so far. I've done quite a lot of hours on it with active talking with the Cardo app and using the actual intercom system, which is absolutely amazing. Like I say, my friend doesn't have the exact same one. He has a Cardo Slim, It doesn't have the same quality of range. I believe the Cardo Edge has a 5 mile range. That only has a 1 mile range, but that 1 mile was more than enough for what we needed. Again, we're not sort of trying to do a track day or anything like that. I'd go crazy. We just enjoy a nice cruise when we get some good weather. So, all of that being said, I'm going to do a quick comparison against everything. So you've got the Ruroc's £300 at the minute because it's got 20% off. I can't remember exactly what it normally goes for the base core edition, which comes in matte black, the same as the Scorpion. The Scorpion Covert FX is $179.99, and again, that it is cheaper. There is cheaper sites online. I think the cheapest I've seen online is £137, but I don't know if that's with delivery cost on top. But either way, it's almost under £150 for the latest safety rating as well, the 22.06, I believe. For me, as much as I was more than willing to spend another £300 on a carbon helmet, because I did want to get a carbon helmet again, purely because the weight of the Ruroc is fantastic, there is no difference. I cannot feel a difference from the weight of this or the Ruroc helmet whatsoever on your head or held in your hands. And the build quality of this just feels fantastic. It feels absolutely fantastic. Again, the Ruroc build quality does feel good. I have no problem with the build quality. It was just the visor failure and a couple bits, like so on the vents on the Ruroc, there was a lot of like little bits of plastic all around the vents where there must be some sort of mold, and they've just not finished that off. There isn't a single piece of anything that's not perfect on this helmet. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer, and I think this looks better. I think the vents look cooler. I just think the whole helmet just looks better in general. Again, I do love the Ruroc look, and I think it's a very iconic look, but I still think the Scorpion takes the prize on that one. As far as the visor goes, I mean, you know my opinion on the visor. I think the stupid pins on the Ruroc make no sense, and I would never use it. I'd never recommend it to anybody, and it broke. So this has been brilliant so far. I've changed it quite a few times. The only thing I will say about the visor on this, it is very, 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 very hard to find any other visors apart from clear or dark. I found on the American Scorpion website, they have a bunch of color tinted visors, sort of the mirror effect and the sort of chameleon effect visors. They have a bunch of them, but I can't find them in this country. And anything on eBay, because you order it from America, you've got to pay taxes on it, and they're around about $49.99. It's very expensive. So that's a downside to me, because I do like a different coloured visor. I was looking at getting sort of the green and blue ones. I know Ruroc do that, and it's very easy to get them because it's all direct from Ruroc. Also the Pinlock. So I have found the Pinlock direct from Pinlock. It's £20, so it's not very expensive. I think it might be $23.99. I haven't ordered it yet, but I will be ordering it for when the winter months start coming along. As far as the sound quality goes, again, I can't see a real big difference between this and the Ruroc. And then as far as comm system, obviously the Ruroc has its own comm system. Scorpion does have its own comm system as well. I just chose not to go with that because the 3 or 4 friends that I do go out with on a regular basis all use Cardo, so I went down that route because it was the preferred, and arguably the Cardo PackTalk Edge is sort of the best comm system out there at the moment. I know there's some people that like other brands and other ones, but at the minute it is the best one. I looked at so many reviews and it had nothing but amazing things to be said about it. But all in all, this is my new helmet. I'm very, very, very happy about it. And I'm very much looking forward to doing some, hopefully getting some motor vlogs done or something like that in the very near future. Just got to get myself a new GoPro because mine's broken. And yeah, again, thank you very much, guys, for coming and watching the video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and as always, have a fantastic day.
Why we're surrounded by